There's been a lot of talk. Maybe too much talk about this next cam. This is not a rebel song. This is Fujifilm X Pro 3. Lyrics. Okay. Alright. I can't believe the news today. Oh, I can't close my eyes and make it go away. How long must we sing this song? How long? Are Fuji gonna take away and put in things from our camera? Since 2015, my event camera has been a digital Leica M. The reason is the bright viewfinder never gets that sort of EVF haze, it never chops, it never changes color, it never gets dark. It's always there. Yeah, it's approximate, but it's always exactly how my eye sees it, with maybe just a bit of a difference in magnification. And I trust my eyes to a point, and that's where the X Pro 3 comes in. I'm 40 years old now, turned it like 2 weeks ago. My magnification on these bad boys is insane. Left eye, there, perfectly sharp. There, fuzzy. Right eye, worse. Right there, that's maximum. Fuzzy. Oof. Fujifilm have now taken the 0.6 and the 0.36 and like gone in the middle of it and go, all right, 0.52, probably just fine. So you can't see as far with a narrow lens as well, and you can't see as wide with a wider lens as well. In fact, from what I hear, and there's conflicting reports, but Jon Nasrowski says something like, yeah, you can maybe see the 16 or the 18, and D Preview, like you can't really see the 23 at infinity focus. So what is it? It is the mirrorless camera with an OVF that until now has zoomed in and zoomed out for your long lenses and your short lenses, as well as given you that classic rangefinder style shooting experience. If they haven't improved that, if the focus system has gotten worse or they haven't made it more accurate or anything, I don't see the point of the X Pro, because that is the selling point of that camera. Everything else could be inside, could be an XT3 with all the guts and the latest firmware, and it like does all the autofocus stuff. But if that OVF does not work properly, does not work as it advertises itself through the shape of its body, as form should follow function, that's a problem. And it's not like we can even test this out. Other people don't get into the nitty-gritty of how to use the OVF. I don't think there's anyone who reviews any of the X Pros that's a Leica user or a rangefinder user. Everyone's just like, it takes great images, but of course every camera takes great images. No one talks about how it really focuses in dark, low contrast scenes. Everyone's like, hey, look, it's dark and there's a beautiful light over there and it's shining on that person. And wow, it just focused like that. Oh, wow. No, I'll do it right here. I'm here. I'm an event photographer. I know what dark is. I know what low contrast is. I know what an OVF is. Look here, check it out. See, I use a Leica M10. I'm filming this with an XT3. I got a GFX upstairs. Had an HX1. Had an XH1 until last year. Had an X Pro one. Had an XT1. Had an X100. I'm your guy. I'm just not a toady. I'll compare them properly. Do it. I'm here. It's like 50 clicks from you. All right? Like this is sounding desperate, but dudes, let me borrow one. Let me tell people what it's like, you know? When I'm shooting an event, I'll have one camera here on a moneymaker, another camera here on a moneymaker, both with flashes. May not use a flash the entire time, may use a flash the entire time, but I will always have the camera ready and I'll be ka-cha, ka-cha. I don't want to sit here like this with my eye closed, because you gotta have your eye closed if you want to see what's actually going on here, and then magnify, 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 scroll. Okay, everyone's got their eyes open. You've now just missed 10 seconds of the event. 10 seconds doesn't seem like a lot, but it can be a lot. So if you're chimping here, you can kind of check and in the periphery of your vision, see what's going on still. Did you miss somebody like doing some weird, like, what are those things when like they throw up people through their legs? Like it was popular in like the 90s. So come back to the 1950s dancing. Whatever that's called, you might have missed that. You might have missed a kiss. You might have missed something. 10 seconds is a lot of time. And when you got the camera up like this and you're like, okay, check, you're missing it all out. Fine, yes, you can just flip it down. Like in the middle of the event, just flip it down, check. But not only are you making more movements than you did, you're also moving the thing that is on a hinge more often than maybe you need to. Now, I assume that Fujifilm have made it super duper durable because they got a new like Duracore paint on their titanium. Yeah, titanium now. So perhaps other things are as well put together, or they thought about the things to make a really reliable and long lasting hinge, but you never know. I mean, my Fujifilm X-T3, the thing that's filming this right now, the on-off button is already wanting to come off. So I don't have a lot of faith in what Fujifilm do in terms of overall reliability on their cameras. They're good, but they're not great. So what have we got going for the X Pro 3? Well, faster processor, better autofocus, lower light autofocus, from what we hear, a slightly more durable body, hopefully a more durable paint coating, 2 extra grams of weight. That's all right. Evidently the thing's thinner. It's got fewer buttons, so that's kind of maybe a takeaway. Doesn't do the magnifying thing anymore. That's kind of takeaway too, so I'm kind of like jumbling this all up. But basically Fujifilm have kind of given with one hand and taken with the other. But hopefully, and I'm really hoping this is the case, that this all works out and is great in general. All right, so if anyone's watching this who's not Fujifilm, even if you are Fujifilm, like leave a thumbs up, you know? If you like the desperate attempt at trying to get a borrowed camera so I can compare them, or otherwise, you know? I brushed my hair. And if you didn't like it, leave 2 thumbs down, just like the Undone guy does. And just leave the, you know, click the bell. Because YouTube algorithms, I have no idea if they affect this channel. No one comes to this channel. Come to this channel, please. Please come to this channel. I'm waiting.
Make it go!